Welcome! This is rooflemonger, and my friends, today we're talking Guilty Gear Strive, and we are talking Roman cancels. Perhaps one of the single most important core mechanics of the game, and in Guilty Gear Strive, the mechanic is simply put the most advanced it's ever been in the history of the franchise. So to start you off correctly in your Guilty Gear Strive journey, let's talk about them. So we're going to talk about them in layers, because first, well, there's a lot of kinds of Roman cancels. You might see that big old red flash, but it can be a blue flash sometimes. Heck, it can be a purple flash. There's a lot of kinds, right? So we're going to talk about all the kinds of Roman cancels first, and then we're going to move on to much more advanced concepts from there. So before anything else, to perform a Roman cancel, no matter what kind of Roman cancel it may be, it is simply any 3 buttons, as long as that button is not the dust button. Because if you hit the dust button, you're going to wind up getting a burst instead. So if you're playing on arcade stick, it's easier to hit 3 buttons by itself. But if you're happening to be playing on pad, go to your button settings here, and you can set Roman cancel to any button you so choose. It'd probably be easier for you if it's like one of the shoulder buttons or something. But if that's what you need, there you go. For some people, 3 buttons at the same time is not a big deal, but for some it is, and if it is, set it to a button, set it to a macro. So now, Roman cancels, once again we mentioned there's 4 kinds. So I'm going to walk you through each kind of Roman cancel, and first, and this will probably be the most common, is the red Roman cancel. So you do this anytime you hit the enemy. It doesn't matter if it is hitting the enemy while they're not blocking, or if they are blocking. Either way, it will produce a red Roman cancel. And succinctly, this is what we would call the combo Roman cancel. Not to say you can't combo off other ones, you definitely can. We'll get into that in a bit. So we'll do something like this, like boom, 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 hit them, cool. And then we'll Roman cancel at the end of it, hit our 3 buttons, and I'll knock them up in the air, and then we can easily follow up from it. And we got our additional hits. Now, to be very certain, there's many advanced combos that can be done from this. But that is, generally speaking, the basics. When you're hitting your enemy, no matter what you are doing, do your Roman cancel, and it'll produce this red shockwave, and it will blow them away, and usually launch them, from which you can just do more combo potential and get more damage in. Before a lot more of the advanced stuff, that is the basics of the red Roman cancel. So our next kind of Roman cancel is the blue Roman cancel. And this basically happens when you're not doing anything else. Like, you're basically, for all intents and purposes, return to neutral. If your move is over or whatever and you do it, it's going to be blue, right? So this, as you might see, the big thing here is this little bit of a clock on the enemy. And this affects everything they do. Both like their actions and also their recovery. So we're going to set our Kaibot to jump here. But now look at him jump under the effects of the blue Roman cancel. Pretty drastic, right? So everything the character does is glacial. More to the point, so we can use this to like visually confirm a lot of things. So if I see him being just super slow in the air, one of the things I can do is, well, okay, you're being slow, I'm just going to air throw you. There you go, right? Because he's so slow, I can just see it coming. And yes, it does affect combos and adds new combos. So say something like close slash here, right? I can't get 2 of these in a row. Like, I can mash the button and get like the Gatling chain, sure, but I can't hit 2 of these in a row. Now, under the effects of a blue Roman cancel, I can indeed get 2 of these back to back, which would normally never be possible, because the enemy's pushback is delayed, because I can't do a close move if I'm not close to him, right? The pushback is delayed, and also, on top of that, they are in more hit stun than they were before. So a lot of normally impossible combos become possible under the effect of a blue Roman cancel. So once again, this is just when you're in neutral, and it affects everything they do. Even things like wake up uppercuts, right? The enemy's going to do a wake up reversal. Under a blue Roman cancel, it gets a lot slower, a lot more readable. In fact, if I'm just tricky enough with it, oh, he's going for it? I'll just throw him out of it. How about that, right? Because I can see the startup of the move. Oh, he's going for it? Cool, I'll throw you out of it. So the time stop on the blue Roman cancel, super good. Now we have the purple Roman cancel, and honestly, for a lot of intents and purposes, it's actually the same as the blue. So all you have to do is do a move, and then cancel that move with a Roman cancel. And kind of the same. So in this scenario here, say we do a special move, and we do it purple, it has the same time stop effect. So it is a lot like the blue Roman cancel in that way. So for Eno, a good example of using the purple Roman cancel is we set up our projectile, which is traveling across the screen. We generally want to follow up behind it. So, but now we're going to be a little tricky. So instead of us hiding behind the projectile, right, we're going to have the projectile hide behind us because that is the power of the purple Roman cancel. And now I can get out ahead of it, right? So this leads to a lot of tricks. All special moves in the game, everything in the game is subject to purple Roman canceling. Like even a jab. You can whip a jab and Roman cancel, and it'll be a purple one, right? So any move you're canceling the recovery or even the startup, because you can do this projectile move before the projectile comes out, although that is not to your benefit, right? But any special move, either during the startup, after the startup, whatever, when you Roman cancel, it winds up being a purple Roman cancel instead. And yes, once again, it has the same time stop as the blue Roman cancel. And our final Roman cancel is the yellow Roman cancel. So unlike the other ones, this is a purely defensive Roman cancel. So all you have to do is be blocking, and you can cancel your block with a Roman cancel, and it'll be the yellow Roman cancel. So think of this like an alpha counter, a V reversal, like any get off me move, right? Once again, in this game, between rounds, you don't get to keep meter. So if someone's beating you up real bad, right, at the very bare minimum, you can use this meter as a get off me and just kind of reset the situation. So that is its main use, is anti-pressure. Now, I know it's not as cool and sexy as the other ones, right? But that is the main use, and it'll keep you alive. It'll do the job, because sometimes just getting a second to breathe is enough to regain control of the match. So that is the yellow Roman cancel. Alright, so now that's the basics of the Roman cancels. You now know what each of the 4 Roman cancels do. Now let's get a bit more advanced, because you can move with your Roman cancel, as you can see here. So the thing with that is you have to double tap in any of the 4 cardinal directions, so left, right, down, or up, and you will Roman cancel in that direction. So once again here, red Roman cancels. If we don't do anything, it blows them away. If I were to double tap forward before I Roman cancel though, it'll blow them away, but I'll be moving forward with them. So I'm just a little bit closer. This can make a lot of combos a lot easier, because just the fact that you're closer to the enemy can make a lot more things possible. Now, this is also the truth here. I can go away from the enemy, and I can also just go directly upwards, as you can see here. And they all do different things. Like the upwards one, sometimes you want them to be up in the air for a combo. And also, to note, the upwards one launches them much higher in the air, as you can see here, versus the stock versions, or say the forward moving versions of the Roman cancel, the red Roman cancel. Also very handy if you happen to be a character with a reversal. This can save your bacon really big time, because I can use this directional Roman cancel here, the down one specifically, to put myself back down on the ground. Normally, if you just go for the reversal and you're blocked, you're in for a hurting and then for just a savage beating. But using this style of Roman cancel, bringing us back down to the ground, not only are we leveled to ground, the explosion from the Roman cancel is advantage. Like, it leaves us advantage on block, right? So if it hits, awesome. If it's blocked, we can use this to save our life. And of course, not the least of which is, if you actually do connect and you do this, well, you get all sorts of combos anyways, right? So if you get blocked, you save yourself, and if you get hit, you get a reward. Now, the applications are also much more multifaceted than that. Like, say you're blue RC, you can also do it forward or backwards, right? And you can use it just to get a second to breathe. Like, if, say, the enemy's just rushing you down, right? And you know they're coming, but you don't know what's coming, right? Then the bare minimum, you can do something like this. Like, they're coming at you, and I'll just blue RC and backwards, gain a little space backwards, and go from there. And of course, depending on what they're doing, if you catch them, then it can be pretty eye-opening, because then you might be able to turn the tables. Like, so, say in this scenario here, in snare dashing, and I just use this to gain some space. Oh, I caught you before you hit your attack, and I'll blow you away. So in that instance, it was a trade, because, you know, the air version of her super, because you're technically backdashing, is not the best for invincibility, but still, you definitely won the trade in that regard, right? And for some people, they might have meterless reversal options, or just anything that can just help you turn the tables. It can be a very big help. All right, so now we know 4 kinds of Roman cancels, and now we also know all about slide RCs, slide Roman cancels. Well, that's got to be the end of it, right? No. How about Roman cancel cancels? Where I do my move and I do my Roman cancel, but I'm going to cancel out of the Roman cancel. As you can see right there. So what on earth was that? So while you're Roman canceling, you can cancel the Roman cancel. And instead of the big explosion, you will cancel out into whatever other move you so choose. So on the left, you're going to see my inputs just so you can see what I'm talking about here. So I'm going to go stand heavy slash Roman cancel, right? Easy enough. Now I'm going to go stand heavy slash Roman cancel and immediately hit stand heavy slash again. There you go. So before the big explosion of the Roman cancel goes off, just simply input another move. Now, the timing might be a little strict until you get the hang of it. It can be a little tricky. This is one of those things where you got to build muscle memory for. So if you're like panicking and mashing and all that kind of stuff, it's probably not going to work out so good for you. But it truly is as simple as that. Just whenever you're Roman canceling, just hit another button after the initial flash, and you'll get your another move. So how is this useful? What benefit is this? Well, let me show you a couple case examples. So here we are with Potemkin, and he's got Hammerfall. This is an advancing armored move, right? Pretty scary. You know, you don't want to stick out anything against it, but, well, the dark secret is, it's punishable on block. Like, if you just stand your ground, bop, punished, right? So here I am, I'm Kai, I'm smart, I'm just gonna wait him out. What's the worry, right? Well, I'll show you what the worry is. So I did my purple RC, my purple Roman cancel, and as you know, if you Roman cancel in the middle of, during, before, whatever, a move, it'll be the purple version. And then I canceled that startup, so there's no time stop, into the Potemkin Buster. So I Roman canceled into the Buster. One more time just to show you. And to see that, well, it's hard to see that in a real match, right? At the point where he's almost on top of you, your brain's kind of thinking, just hold the line, right? Wait for the block, get your punish, all that kind of stuff. And he can abuse that and just grab you out of nowhere. Yes, you got a Roman cancel, therefore it takes half your bar, sure, but that is one of the big uses. Alright, so now we're going to show you a combo example of this. Now, the combo will be fairly basic, but it'll establish its point pretty quickly here. Okay, so our basic attacks here, Roman cancel, we're going to do it again, into a leapfrog. 166, right? Now, let's do the exact same combo, but do Roman cancels. It did 187. How come it did so much more damage? Well, the thing is, the Roman cancel explosion, especially the red RC specifically, it counts as a 0 damage hit. So basically, it advances your combo scaling. Like in most fighting games, the more hits you do in a combo, the less, you know, each hit in the combo does, right? So it effectively is a 0 damage hit on the combo chain, and it just makes you do less damage overall. So in situations where all things are equal, it is much better to cancel the Roman cancel, as you'll just do more damage in the end because you won't have the explosion raising your combo scaling. Alright, so now we learned there's 4 kinds of Roman cancels. We can slide our Roman cancels. We can cancel our Roman cancels. Is there any more? Well, that's the long and short of it on the absolute surface, because there is still so much more depth. And let me give you an example. So this will be an Eno specific example, but many characters have many things like this. So I'm going to show you this just to show you the depth that the well has. So let's take her dash, right? Her dash slash. This is like literally her most basic, most core form of offense, right? So we're going to let the move finish in the block stun, because if we do it like right when it hits, it's going to be the red RC. We don't want that. And we're going to slide RC forward, So it'll look like this. It'll wind up becoming a blue RC because the move is done with, right? So the block stun is over with, so you're effectively neutral again. So it winds up being a blue Roman cancel, and that is exactly what we're looking for. So now at this point, I'm going to do this exact sequence. I'm going to do my move, blue Roman cancel, and then I'm going to jab them. Okay? So follow me along here, and after that jab, I'm going to do my jumping slash attack. So, okay, what's this all about? So I got the bot set, and they're doing the same thing, right? And that's a natural combo, by the way, if it hits, which is also important. So now I'm going to set my inputs here. So look at my inputs here. Once again, they're on the left. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to block the first 2 hits, and then I'm going to crouch block, okay? Because, like, the 3rd hit, she's jumping at me. So I can crouch block. Like, I'm not going to get hit by a jump attack on the way up, right? Well, yeah, I am. So what on earth happened? How come I couldn't just crouch block? How come I got hit in the head, like the head, like it was an overhead? What's going on here? Well, what's going on here is the fact that when you're under the blue Roman cancel, even something like ducking is slowed down. So in this scenario here, I cannot crouch block. In time, I get hit by the overhead. And the whole reason this is important because, well, long story short, I can go low afterwards, right? So this is a true 50-50 here. After this setup is blocked here, so we do our jump slash, we blue Roman cancel forward, we do the jab just to lock them in place. That's the whole point of the jab, is just to lock them in place. And from which you can immediately go into jumping slash, and that is an instant overhead, or we can go for a low, and there's no way to tell which one's going to be which. You just have to guess. And no, you can't mash buttons. There's no gaps for you to fit a dragon punch in, although you can yellow Roman cancel. Keep that in mind, it's important, right? But yeah, this is the true 50-50, and they both lead to full combos. So here, I'm going to get hit by the overhead. I'm going to attempt to crouch block because I think the low is coming first, and I'll get hit by the overhead. Oh, got bopped. Oh my god, look at that damage. All because I incorrectly guessed. And once again, this is all thanks to the blue Roman cancel. Now, what about the low? Okay, so now I'm going to block the overhead because I think that's what's coming, and I won't block the low. So what can happen here? Oh, wow. So there you go. Not only did I get hit by a low, I got hit by an otherwise impossible combo because only the blue Roman cancel allows me enough time to go from crouch light kick into the heavy version of stroke the big tree. And of course, being a mix-up, right? You can slightly delay the crouch light kick here or whatever. Like, there's options. And of course, just for ease of use, if somehow they didn't block the first hit to begin with, yes, it is all a natural combo anyways, right? So that's an advanced example here. That is what is possible thanks to Roman canceling, and specifically the blue or purple, because purples give time stop too, the power of the time stop. This is just the absolute, this is a drip in the bucket. There's going to be so much more in time, but this is an idea to give you a very advanced thing. Once again, this is like Ino's most common form of attack. So for you daring to block her most common attack, you're now in a devious little 50-50 where you got no option other than to just guess. So that is the guide to Roman cancels in Guilty Gear Strive. This is perhaps the single most important mechanic in the game. Well then, you know, other than cracking the enemy's head in with your attacks, right? As always, Roman cancel takes 50% of your bar, so you don't get to do these all the time, but you will get to do them a few times per round, as long as you're saving them for that, not like, you know, doing supers and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's super key. It's ultra important. I don't know how to stress this more than it is ultra important. From the most base level of I hit you, do Roman cancel, I hit you again, right? Like that is already key in just in and of itself. And all like the time stop shenanigans, the fact that it's one of the few things that can save your life if you know, you don't have a reversal, because yellow Roman cancel is going to be your only way out. It is just super key, and I hope this video has helped you understand the mechanic better. The Roman cancel and all of its million permutations and all the things it can do is the lifeblood of Guilty Gear Strive. And with that all said, my friends, that is the end of the video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well. Go out and play some Guilty Gear.